Hi poets, my name is Misha Cahnmann-Taylor and I'm a poet. I teach poetry classes at the University of Georgia and I'm taking poetry classes. Often now I take them from the poets I'm reading. This summer I'm studying with my students the work of Jericho Brown, who's our Pulitzer Prize 2020 award-winning poet who teaches at Emory University in Atlanta. And we're also studying Nicole Brown, who lives in Asheville, Tennessee. These writers, like most writers, start and continue to write from what they know, whether it's the big what they know about love or being human to the small knowledges that they have at their disposal, anything from sewing a button or how to volunteer at an animal rescue shelter, which is what Nicole Brown's book is all about. So, what do you know? What I'd like you to do in this first part of the assignment is sit down without stopping, set a timer for 5 minutes if you can, and just make a huge list of all the things you know how to do. You might even want to start with a refrain. Sometimes these refrains in poetry are called anaphora, a list where you repeat the same word. I know how to. So if you would write that down on your paper, I know how to. Make a list and come back after you've finished in 5 minutes. So here I'll show you a list that I started to make of things I know how to do. How to learn another language, that's my field. I teach people how to teach Spanish and French and Latin, and I've learned a few languages myself, only Spanish fluently, but Portuguese, Hebrew, a little Mandarin, other languages like that. I know how to carry multiple grocery bags from the car. I bet a lot of moms know how to do that. How to touch the bottom of the sound, how to wake up before anyone else. These are things I just made a silly list. How to make a hard-boiled egg. So make sure that you have your list. So then what you do is you turn to one item on your list. I started with the first item. I know how to learn another language. And then I let myself think about the details. What does it mean to learn another language? What do I know? I know to start with thank you for patience, for water, for repetition and gesture. I know how to graduate in a language to please, how much, where is, how to point to a map, a chicken, aspirin, a bar, learn infinitives like to drink and to eat. So in this first draft, I just start to think about what it means to learn another language and how I would advise someone, of course, with a touch of poetry. I thought about this assignment when I saw this call for submissions from the journal District Lit. The website is districtlit.com, and it's published out of Washington, D.C., so the District of Columbia. And they were seeking earlier this year for poems on the theme of how to do anything, they say, literally or figuratively. And they provide some really neat examples like how to feel beautiful, or how to apologize, or how to get crushed. So I suggest that you think even more magically and strangely about what you could write about that you know how to do. So I was out walking and I saw this duck. There are lots of ducks and geese around. Notice how its neck is shaped, almost like an S. Notice how watchful the duck is of her goslings or goose. I don't even know. But she's really protective. And when I came closer, she started to flap her wings to caution me away. Well, it started me thinking about another poem by a very famous poet, Kay Ryan, and the poem is titled Don't Look Back. And she meditates on what the fish know and what the goose knows, and then that becomes a metaphor for what she as a human is coming to know. So listen to Kay Ryan's poem. It's a poem that can teach you so many things. It's always good to have great work around you when you're writing. Don't look back. This is not a problem for the necklace. Fish cannot recklessly swivel their heads to check on their fry.
No one expects this. They are torpedoes of disinterest, compact capsules that rely on the odds for survival. Unfollowed by the exact and modest number of goslings, the S-necked goose is who, if she looks back, acknowledges losses, and if she does not, also loses. Isn't that marvelous? She always writes such skinny poems, and there's so much language and density of thought in this poem. I urge you to go back and look back at Kay Ryan's poem again to see what you can learn about animals and humans and what it is that we are all coming to know.
So don't be afraid to go into the crazy and weird parts of what you know how to do, or what animals know how to do, or some kind of combination. Maybe it's what we can learn about what the washing machine knows how to do. So don't always be restricted to just your knowledge sources. You can turn to the non-human and the non-living also. What does this candle holder know how to do? Or the lights behind me? Or this chair, how many people have sat in it, and what does it know how to do and not do? So enjoy writing, and I would love to see your work.